Hey guys, good day. I hope you're having a great Thursday. I wanted to come on here to do a little car share and talk about emotions. They are so important and one of the biggest pillars of health. In fact, we are going to talk about them in the inner circle, of course. And yesterday I had two sessions, and both of my clients, one of my clients, we focused mostly on food because that was something that was important after looking at her blood work. But the emotional part came up at the end, and it was perfectly timed. It was incredibly well placed into the conversation because it was so relevant. And then in the afternoon I had another call which I intended to also make about the food, but somehow I had this download that the person in front of me was starving of acknowledging feelings. And one of the things that came up yesterday, one of the emotions that came up yesterday was anger. Now, there is a lot of ancestral anger, especially for us women. This is thousands of years of oppression by a system that was so wrong about women and what our place in society is. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not about feminism and being like, I don't want to be in the kitchen. Actually, you know what? We have skills that men don't have. I'm not talking about the chefs out there, but nourishing a family in many, many ways. One of the ways is emotionally. We have the highest intelligence to do that. Feeding our family with the best food. Well, you know why our food can be the best food that a family can have? It's because we have that feminine side that brings one of the best ingredients in the food, which is love. Now, I'm not saying men can't have that. I always talk about duality. It's not a gender thing, it's a energetic things, masculinity and femininity, because we are part of the one. Source is not just masculine, it's not just feminine. For better representation, we always say father and mother as the Holy Spirit being female energy, father being the masculine energy, but overall it's one. We are part of the one. It's the center of the universe. It's the nucleus that we come from. So this is why our genetic codes are so important. Our DNA, RNA, those are so important, and why we have to look after it, and why we should make sure that we don't put things in our body that can alter what we were created with. And so it's really, really important to understand the emotional part of our healing journey, because ultimately if you're starving yourself from some emotions or intoxicating yourself with others, you can eat the best food ever. You can have a diet that is greens galore. You can have a green juice every day. You can have berries every day. You can have the best food ever. You can be a fruitarian. You can be even a breatharian. You can be whatever. But if you're not tapping into the emotional healing and acknowledgement of what you need and what you've been starved from, it will come up. And anger is one of those emotions that I feel we need to definitely talk about. Why? Because it has been demonized as something bad. And in truth, anger is a very healthy, now hear me out, human emotion. Why? Because when you feel anger in that moment, you're acknowledging that you are not aligned, that there's something around you is not righteous, it's not good, it's not aligned with you, it's not, you have to process maybe guilt, maybe shame, whatever other feeling can be processed through anger, a moment of literal explosion, and then after that, the ability to let it go. What does that mean? Anger is the fire, and fire burns and desiccates and breaks down something that can be really hostile and hard, that is lingering within our soul, within our hearts. That moment of anger can be, it's basically combustible, and it's like that's why you feel the heat and you feel just building up, and then you explode, and that fire is healthy. What's not healthy is lingering in anger or having this low grade anger. I can actually use the analogy of inflammation, and it is actually the same. Inflammation is the way the immune system tells the body, hey, we have a problem here. You knock your knee and you're bruising and it's sore, it gets red, it gets swollen. That's inflammation. It's alerting you that that part of the body is going through stress and you have to pay attention to it. So what do? Well, you elevate your leg, you put some ice, you massage it, you make sure you take care of it, you don't go and bursting it everywhere, and you don't go jumping trampolines and so on, right? And so you adapt your choices according to what that inflammation, what the immune system is telling you, what the inflammation is showing you. Now, that's perfectly healthy and a normal reaction of the body. It gets hot, it's heated, there's fire. It's alerting you that something is wrong. And then you take care of it and the inflammation goes away. Now everything is back in homeostasis, which the body's fantastic at doing. In fact, if our body's working well, our adrenals can maybe just explode for a moment, but then everything in homeostasis. You get scared, you go back to peace and quiet. We're not living that way. Low-grade inflammation, just like low-grade anger, is something that lingers beneath the surface. So a person that eats a very poor diet, lives a very poor lifestyle, is upset all the time, sad, unsatisfied, like most of the world really is. That inflammation in the body is forever lingering. And the problem is when it's chronic, that will cause disease. And equally, if our emotions are chronically in the wrong place, we foster disease, because they're going to just stay in there and get bigger and bigger. The triggers are not dealt with. You're not paying attention. You're not listening to your higher self, your inner calling. And ultimately, if an explosion happens, if you're lucky to have, it could be really, really bad, and you might actually hurt yourself and someone else, right? And if it doesn't happen, you're eating yourself alive inside with these emotions. So feeling anger is completely normal, but how we handle it and how we feel it and how we process it and how we then go back to homeostasis emotionally is equally as important, if not more. So those are the two things that I really feel we need to pay attention to. But unfortunately, the messages you see everywhere is if you get angry, you're not in control of your emotions. Bullshit. I'm calling it out. Bullshit. A human being feels anger and then you're fine. I get angry, and when I get angry, I might just lose my shit for a moment, then go back and feel okay. And it is important to do that. And it's important to acknowledge that, because, don't be angry. And this, a lot of my colleagues and a lot of my, I don't want to say my, because it's not my, a lot of people, especially in the wellness industry, in the yoga industry, everybody wants to be Om Namaste every single moment of the day. And if something happens, they just sit there going, it's okay, I'm not getting angry. Anger is a negative energy. Hold on a second. Anger is only negative if you are basking in it. Not if you feel angry, and if you get angry, and if you just express the anger and then boom, you're done. That's positive, that's healthy, that's the way we want to do it. So guys, emotions are important. If you haven't dealt with your emotions, I really urge you to do so. Start journaling, start writing it down. And I can tell you something, yesterday I made my client laugh and I said, your journal can literally be a profanity book. Like, you can write stuff in there you would not say without feeling that you are, not a very good person or educated person. Like, just say the F word a million fucking times. That's okay. There you go. That's okay. Say whatever you need to say. Write the most horrible things if that's what you feel, and then let it go. And you know that, thank you. You came out now. I don't hold you in my heart. now I'm going to make the better decision, being calm and knowing that I've expressed my anger and I'm processing it, and it's okay. It will be okay. And then you can make rational decisions from a higher place, from a place where you know that you had the moment to be very human and just have that and then go back and be like, now I'm grounded and now I'm going to just be rational about the choices that I make, because ultimately every action has an effect. And so we want to make sure we don't do stupid things in anger, which is another thing. You don't want to act in anger, because the result of that won't be good. But you can be angry, and you can have a moment where you go somewhere where you're alone and you punch a pillow, you scream in the pillow, you write these things down, and then you're setting yourself back to deal with the world healthy. Okay, so guys, if you haven't signed up for the inner circle yet, I urge you to join. It is the best investment you'll do for yourself. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this, because it is. And even if your life is too busy, this is once a month that you just take a couple of hours for yourself. You join a community, you learn something new, you ask questions, and we can discuss you, if you want to, without the shame of anything, just you and what you need to know and what you need to do. And it's much more affordable than having a one-to-one consultation if you don't have the budget for that, and yet incredibly helpful. And I also want to make sure that the ladies out here are working on this, because guys, what you learn, what you are implementing, what you are incorporating and embodying will shine through to the choices you make every day and how you assist and help others. This is a universal truth. There's no other truth out there but this universal truth. I promise I would not be here sitting and telling you these things if I didn't deeply feel it in my heart that this is the case, because I have been going through it for years. I lingered in horrible feelings. Honestly, I did, and I was getting myself sick. And I will not be able to share this enough times to really highlight how detrimental that was to my mental health, but also physical health. I gave myself type 2 diabetes. I gave myself adrenal exhaustion. I was living a lie. I was living feeling oppressed, like I couldn't be myself, that I have to always fit in a box. I don't fit in any box. I don't want to fit in a box. I'm not angry, I'm just passionate about this. I do not want to fit in a box. I don't want to be restrained by saying I need to be in one place for the rest of my life. That's not me. I'm a free-spirited person, and I love to expand, I love to open up. Yes, I want to have grounding and rooting and baseline, because that's important. It's very important to me. But I also don't want to feel stuck. And when I feel stuck, it eats me up alive. So guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. So please join me. Ask me any question. I'm happy to respond. This is an open platform, completely transparent. I'm happy to give you information, and I'm sharing everything that I've been through, gone through. This is not about me being precious or perfect. I'm not perfect. I am navigating life just like you are, but when I'm learning something, I want to share it. That's my calling. I am going from loop to spiral. My number 3. I did my reading, my soul contract reading with Antonia. If you haven't done it yet, you guys need to do it. It's the best investment also. And I know I'm saying all this, but your health is a bunch of investments that you're not going to find in the medical system. So it's true. I'm sorry. But when I did my soul contract, this is how everything started for me, by the way, last year. Everything like emotion, because I allowed myself to come out from that loop that I was in, from that, and from the spiral, from the center of the spiral, starting to slowly come out. And now I feel like I'm expanding, and the energy from the eclipse, I have felt an upgrade in my DNA for real. So guys, I want to send you lots of love, and I hope that you will join. The inner circle starts April 28th. Please come with us.